guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. A great big shout out to my channel members for supporting my channel. Thank you. Alright, so I'm doing a May haul, although I'm pretty sure I had a haul earlier this month, but we'll get into the why. You'll see in the description what I've titled this. But the one and only coloring book that I got is the Creepy Cuties manga coloring book. I did pick this up from Amazon. It is not Amazon printed, however. It's Thunder Bay Press. I had seen this on Doodle Robots and Pixie's channel, and I think the artwork is phenomenal. The paper is really nice, and you guys know I've been loving me some manga and anime. And honestly, the only difference between the two is manga is equivalent to a graphic novel or a comic book, and anime is the equivalent to a cartoon. So, and when I say only, I think in the last one I got quite a few books. I do have the new R.J. Hampson book in my Amazon cart, but I'm picking up some supplies and whatnot, so not craft related, but just personal. So I'm just waiting to check out for that. So you'll probably see that in a June haul. I don't know that I'll be getting anything, but I always say that, and then next thing I know, I'm like, hey guys, so what had happened was... So that's my coloring book. Now let me show you some of the supplies. This should give you an indication what the supplies are. Again, most of it was supplies. This holds 208 pencils, if my calculation is correct. I could look at my invoice on Amazon because that's where I got it, but I didn't. So yeah, there's 26 for each of these. I actually do prefer the ones that have individual zippers and a spot for individual pencils. So this is kind of leading into some of the other things. I'll show you some non-pencil things before we get into that and the why. Now, I believe I saw this on Chelsea's channel, and I'll link her channel below. Anyone I've mentioned, I'll link below. But I did not realize that there were gray Moonlight gel pens, and I love Jelly Roll pens. I've got some of the fluorescent or the brighter colors of Moonlight, and they are very opaque. So I use them generally to kind of either bring something up, like light, candlelight, I use it a lot, or if I want to get rid of black lines, but I don't want to use white. But I love gray, so I got this set from Amazon. I don't generally link things, although since there's very few things, maybe I can link these things below. But yeah, there's different, and it seems to be like these two seem more warm to me, and these seem more cool. And I've used them already, and I do like them. So I'm thankful to Chelsea for showing these, because again, I had no idea these existed. Actually, I'll just keep them in here, where I have all of my Moonlight pens and Jelly Rolls in general. There's no more room there. And then I did pick up some clear Stardust pens, just because it adds a little bit of sparkle. I've got to test this out compared to my Spectrum Sparkle as well as my Wink Stella and see how they compare. This might just give me more targeted areas versus a bigger swash, since both of those, Spectrum and Wink, have like brush pens. Okay, and then this happened. Now, caveat number one, I'm a grown person. I buy my own stuff. I do what I want. So there's that. But what triggered this was, I've mentioned this before on my channel, but I do have a full-time job, and coming into the summer through fall is probably the busiest for me, because fall session on a community college campus or any college campus is just crazy cuckoo busy. Now, what compounded this was about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, my boss informed me and the other person in our office that she had taken a position outside of our office, so she won't no longer be working at our campus, although she will be working with us. Now, pre-pandemic, we had an office of 5. Now we're going to an office of 2, me and the clerk. Now, there are just a myriad of things the clerk does not have the access to, nor should she have to. She doesn't get paid to do the other stuff that my boss and I have been covering for the 2 people who already left. So when the boss leaves, there's just me. And as someone who deals with a lot of stress and anxiety already, just the thought of the sheer amount of work that is needed to be done is quite overwhelming. So I stress shocked, and I did it in an informed way. Well, okay, maybe not this, but originally I was going to get the 120 Albrecht Dürer, and I got this from Amazon. But then I was watching some videos, so again, trying to just get the most out of my dollar, knowing I was going to buy something. And I had seen some things where I know Albrecht Dürer works well because I have them. I just love the way that they feel on the paper, both dry and wet, and the color payoff. But I had seen some things where the Caran d'Ache Supracolor Aquarelle may not be as good as the Albrecht Dürers, but they had colors in here that weren't necessarily in the Albrecht Dürers. And so I thought, okay, I can get the 120 colors, or I can mix it up and get the 80 Supracolors and the 60 Albrecht Dürer colors. And then this just happened because I was doing a Walmart purchase, and I saw that they had these. So both Faber-Castell, I'm assuming that these Aquarelle or Gold Faber Aqua pencils are more of the student grade versus more of the artist grade. I don't care about light fastness, so that's not really an issue for me. I do want to see how the colors line up, and I do want to see how they work as compared to these. And what I plan to do with that pencil case that I showed you is I plan to put them in color order versus brand order. So having all my aquas and my Albrecht Dürers and my Supracolors separately, they're just going to be all mixed. So if I need a blue, I'll just go to the section that has the blues. Now I might hate that. So I will definitely keep the tins until I determine whether or not I hate that or not. And with the Faber-Castell, it comes in these plastic trays. There's 2 levels, 48 pencils, and again, I'll need to see how this stacks up against the Albrecht Dürers, because these might actually be the same exact colors, because these 4 sets of blues look very similar to the Albrecht Dürers. Same brand, so that makes sense. With the Faber-Castell, again, let's okay, so there's no name on this one. This one kind of looks like this one. And I don't swatch, so yeah. But this is 120 and this is 120. So I'm thinking these 2 are the same colors. So again, I'll have to see how they feel. I'm thinking this is the student grade brand, and this is definitely their artist brand. And it's also packaged a lot nicer. Oh, those colors are pretty. I am leaning towards that one like nobody's business. So there's the Albrecht Dürers. Now I might bite the bullet, or I might ask for it for Christmas or on my birthday for my family for the 120. So, I mean, this is way more than colors than I need, so that'll be a purchase for some other time. But these here, I was quite impressed with the packaging. I've got the Luminance pencils, and the Luminance are my top 3 just regular pencils. But they come packaged like this. And then I'm like, wait, did they only give me one thing of pencils because where's the other set of pencils? And then I realized it has its own tray. And as someone who doesn't buy a ton of pencils, except when I do, I'm not gonna lie, that was super sexy to me. So that was really pretty. And again, just looking at the blues, because I've used them the most, especially recently, they definitely have more blues and they might be very similar. But then this definitely seems to have a lot more pinks. There's some grays. There's actually some metallics, a gold and a silver. And the blues are right here. So yeah, again, you're not going to see any swatch video from me because I just don't do those. But what I'll probably do is when I do my tester page, I will pick colors that are very similar between all of the water soluble pencils that I have. Oh, wow, look at that. Sorry, squirrel movement. And then I will see how they feel on the page, both wet and dry. And when I say wet, I'll put it down dry and then I'll activate it. I don't do a lot of the water to the tip here because I don't like sharpening my pencils and that's just gonna make the tip go down. So yeah, definitely some stress shopping. And I'm okay with that. I mean, I've already discussed things with management, and while they are good mentors most of the time, they're not necessarily great leaders. And so I'm just going to have to come up with a plan that's going to keep our office running until they can get more staffing who can actually take work off my seat. So yeah. I didn't play with these at all. I haven't been feeling well, so there's that. And then I did want to show you guys the pencils in the tins. For the last couple of things, I've already taken them out of the tins, but especially with these two, they're just so pretty. When I see people do pencil hauls, I'm like, oh, that's so gorgeous. I don't use pencils as much as many people do. But again, stress shopping got me. I'm not mad. This is my stuff. It's my money. So I'm okay with that. But I'd love to know if you have any of these things, especially if you have the super colors or if you have the Gold Vapor Aqua. What are your thoughts on that? Because again, these I know. I've worked with these before. And if you have any interest in Albrecht Dürer pencils, check out Shell's coloring journey. Again, I will link her channel below because she does phenomenal work with it. Absolutely phenomenal. Anyway, guys, that's it for me for now. And as always, aloha.